Oh, what's going on, guys? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys. But first things first, as always, hope you guys are having an amazing day. So in today's video, I have something new planned for you guys. We are going to be going to round 300 using Sauda. Now, I say we're going to go to round 300, but I'm not exactly sure if we're actually going to be able to make it, because I know that even Adora and Azili start to struggle a little bit when we start getting to the hyper late game. So it's going to be super interesting to see if Sauda can go to the late game. Now, I usually do these hyper late game rounds on Cubism, but this time I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and I'm actually going to play on 4 circles. Now, if you guys have ever watched any of my super high round guides before, you guys will know that I always play on Cubism, and we always go for the Vengeful Sun God, which we're going to switch things up a little bit, and we are going to be playing on 4 circles like I already said, and we will be going for the Vengeful Sun God just because the Vengeful Sun God is pretty much needed to go to a super late game. Alright, so there's not going to be too much special stuff going on here. We're going to go for the Bloons Ninja Monkey. We're going to go for the Alchemist. Now we're going to go ahead and start the farm. So in order to make sure that this video isn't super long, because it takes about 3 to 4 hours in order to make it to round 300, depending on the composition that I use and how well Bloons actually wants to run. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the point where I have where I'm starting to get my monkey banks, and I think that should be around round 41, 42 is when I should have a decent amount of monkey banks going. So guys, sit back, relax. I'll see you guys here in just a second. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 39. As you guys can see, I have quite a few banana farms going right now. And we also have our Alchemist upgraded to Stronger Stimulant with Perishing Potions, and we also have the Bloons Ninja Monkey. So we are playing on easy mode because I found it a little bit more enjoyable to go for a super high round on easy mode, because towers aren't super expensive and it's just a lot easier and more relaxing to actually get the Vengeful Sun God, and also set up all of your towers in order to actually get the Vengeful Sun God in general. So if you guys were ever curious as to why I actually play on easy mode, it's just because the towers are cheaper, which in turn makes the Vengeful Sun God a lot easier to get. So at this current point in time, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be upgrading all of these banana farms all the way up to Banana Research Facility. Then once I do that, I'll probably fill in this bottom section with banana farms as well, and then we'll be going for like then we'll be going for the Grandmaster Ninja. That way we don't lose to round 63. Even though we have Sauda, round 63 shouldn't give us too much of an issue, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Am I right? But anyways, guys, in order to keep the video short and sweet, I will be doing a bunch of skippy bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all the banana farms placed down, and then I'll bring you guys back as soon as we have the Grandmaster Ninja. Alright guys, we are on round 60, and as you guys can see, we have a bunch of our banana farms down, and now we can afford to buy the Grandmaster Ninja. Now that we have the Grandmaster Ninja, we're going to go full farm, and we are going to be upgrading all of these banana farms all the way up to the Banana Research Facilities. On top of that, we're also going to be going for all of the tier 5 monkey banks, and then we'll be going for a couple other tier 5 towers to go ahead and ensure that once we get to round 90, we're not going to struggle with the higher tiered rounds, because although the Grandmaster Ninja is good, he will struggle a little bit once we start to get to round 90, especially since we won't have any towers that will actually be able to effectively deal with the DDT balloons. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get all of this farming down, and then I'll go ahead and bring you guys back probably around 90 or at some point when we start to sacrifice for the Vengeful Sun God. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 82. As you guys can see, we have a bunch of banana farms going. We have all the tier 5 banana farms. I almost forgot to set up my little bit of a robot here, because what I usually do is I'll hook up a robot to the middle pathway monkey bank to go ahead and ensure that I'm not missing any of the free money that we get with the middle pathway monkey banks ability. And if you guys are unfamiliar with what the ability does, is the ability will give you $10,000 every time the ability is off cooldown. Right, now you guys can see we have quite a bit of money going, so now we can officially start to go for our Vengeful Sun God. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade a super monkey to the sun avatar. That way we have a little bit of additional popping power. Now's when I need to start looking at all of my different towers to see how much money we actually have. So we already know that we almost have the magic covered. In order to make sure that we 100% have the magic covered, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my alchemist to permabrew. And now we have all of the magic sacrifices that we need for the vengeful sun, or for the sun temple. Alright, so now that we have the magic covered, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get our military covered as well. And I'm going to go a little bit overboard, and I'm going to go for the flying fortress. I know we only need to sacrifice $50,000 for the vengeful sun god, but I generally go for a little bit overkill. That way I know I don't mess it up. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and go for our primary towers, because in my opinion the best pathway to go for the vengeful sun god is going to be for the sun temple, to sacrifice 50,000 for the primary, 50,000 for military, and 50,000 for magic. Now you guys can sacrifice support, but in my opinion I feel like it is better to go for the primary, magic, and military, because all the support really does is, yes, it increases the popping power of towers around it, but it also decreases their price. So in my opinion it is a little bit better to go for the pathway that I'm currently going for. Now that I went ahead and covered that, let's just go ahead and go for the Moab domination. We're going to be a little bit short there, so let's go ahead and grab a crossbow master as well. And now we have more than enough to sacrifice for the sun temple. Now let's go ahead and buy the sun temple. As soon as we get done with this round, let's go ahead and slow things down just a touch. We'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and buy Ultravision on our Super Monkey to go ahead and make sure that our Sun Temple can actually see camo balloons, especially since we're on round 90 plus. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to pay attention to our Super Monkey's range, and we want to go ahead and grab our other two Super Monkeys that are needed for the sacrifice. So let's go ahead and buy the Legend of the Night with a Plasma Blast to go ahead and give us a little bit of an easier time dealing with these higher rounds. And then we'll go ahead and buy the Anti-Balloon Gunner as well. So there's our Anti-Balloon Gunner. We have the Legend of the Night. We'll go ahead and give both of them the ability to see camo balloons. That way we don't struggle with some of these higher tiered rounds. Now the next thing that we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the same exact towers that I sacrificed before, with a little bit of a change. We're not going to be going for the Grandmaster Ninja this time. We're just going to go for Permabrew, because Permabrew is going to be more than enough to sacrifice for the vengeful sun god. Alright, so now let me see, let's go ahead and grab our Permabrew. There we go. So Permabrew is going to cost 51,000, so that's just enough in order to sacrifice for the vengeful sun god. And then I'm going to switch things up on this one, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I go the middle pathway, nope, that's just a little bit short, so we'll go ahead and go the middle pathway, then we'll grab a crossbow master as well, just to make sure that we have enough in the primary towers. And then the next thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll go a little bit overkill on, nope, actually, we can actually go for the bottom pathway engineer. Alright, so let's just go ahead and continue along. We just beat round 100. Let's go ahead and buy the XXL trap, and that is 51,000 for support as well. So we have the 50,000 for military, we have the 50,000 for magic, and we also have the 50,000 for primary. And then the engineer monkey is going to cover our support. So now, as soon as we have the $425,000 to afford the true sun god, we can go ahead and sacrifice all of these towers in order to get the vengeful sun god. Alright guys, a little bit of an update. Our Sauda is doing pretty good so far. She is level 20, and we are on round 104. So far, we really haven't struggled one bit. I mean, we got all of our banana farms up without an issue. Our Grandmaster Ninja did a great job at holding things off all the way up until we were able to start sacrificing for the vengeful sun god. And guys, we are extremely close to the $425,000. As soon as we get the vengeful sun god, I am going to be doing quite a bit of skips. I'll probably skip ahead every 20 or 25 to 50 rounds, because once we start getting to the super late game, the rounds take forever, guys. And in order to make this video kind of short, so you guys don't need to wait around too long, I will do quite a bit of skippy bits. Alright, and here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and sacrifice for the vengeful sun god. And if we did everything correctly, there we go, guys. We officially have the vengeful sun god. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing for the Vengeful Sun God is we're going to go ahead and rebuy our Permabrew, because we want to make sure that all of our towers have the Permabrew on them. So let's go ahead, we'll place down our Permabrew over here, all the way up to there. There we go. We'll go ahead and grab perishing potions as well. And then we're not going to go too overkill with all of these support towers. I think we'll go for the Ultra Boost, we'll go for the Monkey Village, we'll go for a couple of towers that will make our lives a little bit easier at the late game, like the Center Pathway Ninja Monkey and the Balloon Master Alchemist. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get all those towers set up, and I'll see you guys on round 150. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 148. As you guys can see, things look a little bit different now because I sold all of our banana farms because we really don't need any more money. I mean, we still have $1.8 million that we can spend at any given point in time. But for the most part, we have everything set up that I'm going to be using to hopefully make it to round 300. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be strong enough to actually make it, but let's go ahead and cover all of the towers that I actually have placed down. Next thing I have is of course I have the Grand Saboteur, because the Middle Path Ninja Monkey deals a bunch of damage to the bad balloons as they are coming from the entrance, making them a lot easier for our Vengeful Sun God to deal with. The next tower that I have is the Bloons Incineration, because what the Bloons Incineration does is it will actually slip off it will take the reinforcement off of all of the balloons all the way up to a ZOMG, if I'm not mistaken. I know it at the very least works on up to a DDT balloon. Alright guys, as far as that, there's nothing else that I really have. Of course, I have the Homeland Defense. I have the primary expertise for our two primary towers here. And on top of that, I also have all of these overclocks and the Ultra Boost to go ahead and buff all of our towers that are doing a majority of the damage. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. For the most part, I don't think I'm going to be adding any more towers to go ahead and reduce the lag, because once we start getting to round like 250, things are going to get super laggy to the point where it's going to take anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes to finish a round, as long as my PC is able to keep up. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward all the way until like round 215, 210, and I'll go ahead and bring you guys back again to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a status update. But anyways, guys, I really hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, enough of that. Let's go ahead and fast forward to round 215. Alright guys, so go ahead and bring me back on round 207. So far our strategy is doing extremely well. As you guys may see, I added a couple of the bottom upgrade path banana farms, and the reason why I added these is because I do have the monkey knowledge unlocked, where it will give me extra lives. As you guys can see, I almost have 1,300 extra lives, which is going to give us a little bit of wiggle room just in case any balloons slip through. But as of right now, our composition really isn't struggling with popping any of the balloons. I think the furthest the bad balloons have made it is to this pathway right here, which is kind of understandable because, I mean, we are on round 207. And to give you guys a little bit of a preview at what these rounds are actually looking like, they aren't too complicated. They're actually fairly simple for our composition to actually deal with. I mean, the only balloons that are giving us a little bit of a hard time is, of course, going to be the bad balloons. But as of that, nothing else is even remotely making it very far. Alright, so a little bit of an update of how our towers are doing. Our Sauda is sitting at almost 700,000 pops. Our Balloon Master Alchemist is sitting at, let me see, 141 million pops. And then our Vengeful Sun God is currently sitting at 145 million pops. So our towers are doing extremely well. The Bloons Incineration's doing well. It's actually doing a lot better than I initially thought it would do. It's sitting at almost 10 million pops. And then the next big boy is going to be our Dartling Gunner, which is sitting at 38 million pops. Definitely respectable. And so far, there's nothing else really to report. I did end up getting a Middle Pathway Elite Sniper, and I also went for a Special Poperations to go ahead and give us a couple more lives. Because I'm kind of worried that our composition isn't going to be able to last all the way up until round 300, but I am taking every precaution I can to try and ensure that we're able to make it that far without adding too many towers that will increase the amount of lag that we actually have. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do another little bit of a skippy bit all the way up until maybe round 260, if we can make it that far. If we end up struggling or we end up losing, then of course I'll bring you guys back for another little bit of a status report. So guys, I really hope you're enjoying, and I'll see you guys here in just a second. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 253. Now the reason why I'm bringing you back is because we're really starting to struggle against these reinforced bad balloons. So I'm going to go ahead and try and come up with some way to make them easier to pop. I'm not exactly sure how much longer this strategy is actually gonna be able to hold out. I mean, our towers are doing great, but these higher rounds are really starting to take a toll on our towers. I mean, our vengeful sungod's still doing awesome, but as you guys can see, the bad balloons are making it further and further and further, which is kind of making me less optimistic that we're actually going to be able to make it to round 300. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my auto start off, and maybe I'll add a couple more towers to give us a little bit more Moab DPS. And I think the tower that I'm going to go with is I'm actually going to be going for the Dark Champion. Now I know this is going to add quite a bit of lag to our composition, but the Dark Champion does do a lot of damage to Moab class balloons, which is what makes me think that the Dark Champion may actually help us with dealing with some of these bad balloons. I mean, if the bad balloons weren't reinforced, we would have a little bit of an easier time dealing with them. But as you guys can see, our vengeful sun god is having a extremely rough time in dealing with them. So I think I'll just spread out a few Dark Champions here, and by a few I mean quite a bit of the Dark Champions here, and hopefully this is going to give us a little bit of a better chance against these bad balloons. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and get a bunch of these guys set up, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I do. Alright guys, so I placed down a few Dark Champions. I think this might be able to help us out with dealing with these bad balloons, but again guys, we are on round 254, so things are going to get a little bit more intense now. And right away I noticed that there's a drastic increase in the amount of lag that we're going to experience. So I do feel like these next 45 rounds are going to take a while to beat. But anyways guys, I honestly don't even know if this will help or not. I mean, with this many Batmans, you gotta figure that we're gonna be able to make easier work of some of these rounds. And guys, my game is not liking all of these Dark Champions. I may have to just like deal with it and sell all of these Dark Champs, because at this rate I don't think we're gonna be able to even remotely make it to round 300. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of these Dark Champions, and then I'll bring you guys back on the round that we actually lose. Alright, so guys, sit back, relax. I'll see you guys here in just a second if this round ever ends. Alright guys, so we are on round 281 so far. The Dark Champion thing didn't work out, super unfortunate, but I think we're getting towards the end of what our composition can handle. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, these bad balloons are making it almost to the end. The only thing that's keeping us in the game right now is luckily our homeland defense is going off, and this might actually be the end of it right here, guys. And there it is, guys. Unfortunately, we lost on round 281. I mean, even if we played it over again, I don't think our composition would have stood a chance. It's just like there's too much going on. Unfortunately, because of the way the map is set up, the vengeful sun god can't get too much pierce on all of the towers or any of that fun stuff, which is making it even harder for him to deal with all of these balloons. Once we lose this again, we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys what the total pop count for all of the towers actually are. But as of right now, Sauda is unfortunately not going to be the answer to go to super late game. But in her defense, I did not ultra boost her to the max 10. So who knows? Maybe if I would have ultra boosted her to the full 10 times, she may have done a little bit better. But as of right now, unfortunately, I just don't think she has what it takes to go to super late game. But as you guys can see, even with a full reset on all of the abilities, we're still going to have a bad balloon leak, which is super unfortunate because I would have liked to see this composition go just a little bit further than it actually did. Alright, so a total pop count, our Balloon Master Alchemist is currently sitting at 1 billion pops. Not too bad, especially since we're only on round 281. Our Vengeful Sun God is sitting at 943 million pops. Unfortunately, he did not end up catching up to the BMA, which is, again, understandable because of the way the map is set up. He's not able to get as much Pierce as he would on some of the other maps. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the MAD. The MAD is sitting at a respectable 124 million pops. Let's check out the Grand Saboteur. The Grand Saboteur is sitting at 207 million pops. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all, guys. And then our Sauda, the hero that we chose to go for the super high round challenge, is sitting at 11 million pops. So yeah, guys, I think Sauda is good for up to round 100. And then once you start getting past that, she definitely starts to fall off a bit. I mean, again, if I would have ultra boosted her times 10, she may have been able to do a little bit more. But for the most part, I don't think she would have been able to help out too much on round 281. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's super high round challenge. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know I had a lot of fun doing this for you guys. If you guys did enjoy, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, you already know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives. And I will see you guys in the next one.